Assalamu alaikum. I am Anuraisha Siddika and this is my first YouTube tutorial, and the tutorial is on web services. So basically, what is web services? Web services are open standard based on web applications that interact with other web applications for the purpose of exchanging data. And so here we have to know what is an open standard. So an open standard is a standard that is publicly available and has various rights to use associated with it, and may also have various properties of how it was designed. Then web services can convert an existing application into web application. Okay, so there are various types of web services. These are XML, JSON, SOAP, REST, etc. So first we will discuss about XML, which means extensible markup language. First we have to know what is an XML. XML was designed to store and transport data. It was also designed to be both human and machine readable. Okay, so why XML is important? It is important because it plays an important role in many different IT systems. It is often used for distributing data over the internet, and it is important for all types of software developers. To establish a web application, a person should have a good command over web services and especially on XML. So here we can see a simple XML code. Here is XML version 1.0, which means that a version of the XML standard is used. So it's a parameter, and then comes the parameter encoding, then UTF-8. It's the parameter value, so it can be UTF-16 or Shift JIS or EUP JP and many other things, but it defines the character encoding used in the document, and UTF-8 is the default encoding. Okay, so here is a basic XML code. In the note there is we used to, from, heading, body. In the body we just we left a message, and in heading we used remainder, to, from. So it's basically some kind of a message to Anur from Satya. So that was XML. So XML declaration, there are some rules for XML. If the declaration is included, it must contain the version number. Without the version number, the code will not be established. And the parameter names and the values all are case sensitive. The names should be in lowercase, and the order of placing the parameters is important. Like first here we used version, then encoding, and then we have to use, then we can write the code. So if we do not place these parameters in correct order, our code will not work. Either single or double quotes may be used, and XML declaration has no closing tag like close XML. Okay, so here was our XML. Now we come to the SOAP, which actually means Simple Object Access Protocol. So first we have to know about what is actually protocol. In information technology, a protocol is the special set of rules that endpoints in a telecommunication connection use when they communicate. Protocol specially interactions between the communicating entities. So what is actually SOAP? SOAP means an open standard XML based message protocol. We now already know what is open standard and what is XML. So SOAP can extend HTTP for XML messaging. We can use an HTTP request. We can use you can send a request to HTTP, then HTTP will also give a response to our request. Then it also provides data transport for web services. Okay, so here comes a basic SOAP code, which is we have here used HTTP protocol. There is a post quotation HTTP /1.0, then host name, I mean that's the host website www.xyz.org. Suppose it's a name of a website. Then we have to declare the content type, whether it's in text or XML. Then the char set is UTF-8. Then we have to say the content length. So it's a request to the server via HTTP. Then becomes the XML, I mean the declaration. Well, we can develop a SOAP code into a XML message. So it will start with the XML version 1.0, and important thing is that in the SOAP declaration we have to use SOAP envelope and SOAP encoding style. So basically we have to give a name of that website we are passing any data or transport data to another application. So here is we used www.v3or.org. so this is the website, and we will transport its information to another application. So we will declare that in the env. Then encoding style, we will also give the name of the website that we are using, and we have to mention whether it's a SOAP envelope or a SOAP encoding. It's really very important. Then here you can see that we have used a method which is get quotation. We can here in the quotation tag, in between the quotation tag we have used Microsoft. Then we have closed the get quotation. I mean this is an example of a request that we send to HTTP protocol. So then we end the SOAP env body, and then we ended the SOAP envelope. Okay, so here was a basic example of SOAP code. Okay, then we come to JSON, which is JavaScript Object Notation. Well, it is a lightweight text-based open standard designed for human-readable data interchange. Basically, its syntax is a subject of JavaScript's syntax. Actually, JSON's syntax is quite resembled with JavaScript. So before learning JSON, a person has to have a good command over JavaScript. So it's really important to know the JavaScript, and JavaScript is quite easy. Okay, then JSON file names extension should be is .json. JSON and XML are human readable formats and are language independent. I mean we can use JSON in any kind of languages like PHP, Ruby, Ajax, Java, and so on. So then comes basic JSON code. You can see we have been used an ID, then language, edition, author, etc. So we can first we declared the variables in a semicolon, and after and we also the variable we have also declared in the double quotation. And then after that, like other programming languages, we didn't use any semicolon. Actually it's not we can use whether a comma or a semicolon. Then we just declared another variables. So that's it. Then we come to the simple code of JSON. Here we used a PHP code. Here we create a class EMP, which is employee. Then we declare variables in public. So there is variable name, hobbies, birth date. So basically we just put a blank here using only double quotation. After that, by echo we create a new object, new EMP. Then echo name Sachin, echo dash hobbies, sports. So here we just declared the variables. Then echo JSON encode, which is $E, which will give an output of our code. So here we can see the output, which is name, Sachin, hobbies, sports, birth date. This is, and a date. So yeah, this is a basic JSON code. Here we used PHP. Then comes REST, representational state transfer. Web services based on REST architecture are known as RESTful web services. These web services use HTTP methods to implement the concept of REST architecture. Well, we have also seen earlier that SOAP also use HTTP methods to implement its concept. A RESTful web service usually defines a URI, which is Uniform Resource Identifier. Well, URI is completely different from URL. Then, which is a service that provides resource representation such as JSON and a set of HTTP methods. So in REST we can use JSON, and in this we can set different HTTP methods. Okay, so here is the end of my tutorial. Hope it was beneficial. Thank you.